Hello and welcome to Dad's Ad Job podcast. This is your host, Adam Leverborough, and I'm joined this week by Callum. And remember, we are live on YouTube and X, and this is the original footballing podcast for dads by dads. So, Callum's laughing already. Cal, how are we getting on, mate? You had a good week?
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, decent week, not too bad. Yeah, been intense, but every week's intense in education. So, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. It's been all right, to be honest. I mean, I'm happy with the results that have been going on. So, at least football's been all right. What about yourself, Ed?
I can't say much about the football, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, things have been pretty good. Obviously, next step and next chapter in parenthood is our kids going to school. So obviously this week, me and Kerry, I'm not going to say the school because I want to obviously safeguarding, but we went and saw the
What
first school.
Oxford, isn't it, or is it Cambridge? Which one was it?
Yeah, Oxbridge. Yeah, so we went and saw her first school, and yeah, it was quite. It was, I say, not really much to take from it. If I'm honest, it's the first school we looked at, but it was a bit like, oh, our daughter's going to be going to school next year, and it's a bit frightening. It's a bit frightening. I was a bit like, oh, it's exciting, but Kerry was very much like, it's emotional, really, because like she's growing up too quickly. But yeah, that's how it was fun. Like the facilities, the overall facilities was good. Do you remember when you went to school? I mean, did you have much greenery around when you was at school? Like, what was your playgrounds like?
It was a concrete jungle, mate. I'm from East London.
Exactly.
You're lucky to get a tree.
Lucky to get a plant, right?
Yeah.
But
we didn't even have grass then, mate. It was literally just concrete. Our whole playground was just concrete.
And then sprayed green to make it look like grass.
No, it was just concrete, and it had like the old, like like the yellow lines for the football pitch or white lines for the football pitch, and then the tennis court had yellow lines. That was it.
And that was double yellow parking to stop cars going there.
Listen, you joke. They used to park in the car park, so one end would just be the cars, and then, like I say, a teacher would stand there, and the other side would be the playing area.
It's insane, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
To think that what we were kind of brought up in, and obviously the number of students as well, like the numbers that we're looking at for these schools where we live are like 15 a year.
Yeah,
and it's just so tiny, like it's just insane. But I say the difference between playing in a concrete jungle, we're made of rough stuff, but these kids have got nice greeneries. They've got like a little swing on a tree. They've got a little sand pit and stuff.
They've got like that rubbery. What's that surface called? The rubbery surface. Like that soft. It's meant to be like soft dropped surfaces.
Yeah, it's like basically mixed up tires, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
with resin or something.
Yeah, no. And we used to do PE out there. Amount of times, like, you'd cut yourself. I remember cutting myself, not even going to first aid.
Yeah.
Because you just want to play football.
Yeah,
you just want to play football. Yeah, no. My kids get like a splinter and they cry, and these are 14-year-olds. I mean, saying that's probably because they just want to go to class, but
yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just.
Do you know what else? Yeah. Did you ever used to stand up against the wall at playtime if you were like naughty or like if you got in trouble for like tripping a kid? No, not you trip a kid over, but like I remember, like if you did something wrong, they used to make you face the wall.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was a hyperactive, not malnourished. I was allergic to. How can I put it? When I drank milk, I went wild.
What?
So it was almost like the lactose in me made me a fucking schizophrenic child. So I always used to go out and play and throw stones at windows and stuff when I was at primary school. So yeah, I spent many a time observing bricks in walls. That's why I'm an architect, mate, because of that. Standing my face up against the wall. But yeah, I was one of those kids. Anything that I ate or drunk, especially milk, I went a bit mental. But I've grown out of that now. Safe to say.
Well,
What was you? I bet you was a good little. I bet you was a good little angel, wasn't you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, all I wanted to do was play football, so I didn't really care about anything else. I wasn't intelligent, so I wasn't like, I'd be basically left in class to do what I wanted to do, and then all I wanted to do was get out and play football. So I was quite happy. No, actually, I must admit, when I was in primary school, I was quite a sad little boy. I must admit, I didn't find football till I was in year 6. So I was that kid who just tried to be oblivious and no one know who I was and just hide. Basically, I had quite a sad primary school life, but once I found football, that completely changed everything. But I was just trying to hide basically all through primary school. But yeah, I mean, it didn't help being 20 stone at like 3 years of age. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? I was going to say that. I mean, knowing your banana split stories in caravans for holidays, and I was going to say you swapped the spoon for some gloves.
Literally, yeah. I think I've been the same weight since I was about 5 years old. I'm not even joking. That's the honest truth. Yeah.
What leg?
Not that I've got scarring or I only see a counsellor once a month now, not every week.
And saying that, you had how many scoops of ice cream when we went to Bremen? How many scoops was it?
4.
In that bowl? 4.
4.
4 scoops of ice cream.
Yeah, but I don't consider that a lot. I told you there's that challenge. There's this ice cream
like you cut a football in half.
What?
It's like
that's not
the
a lot.
Size of the bowl.
Mate, right. I don't think it's a lot. Like I said to you, that when we went to that ice cream farm down in, is it Ashford, wasn't it? Yeah, 16 scoop challenge. I am going to do that.
I think if you go, where was it? Ashford.
Yeah, that round that way. Yeah, like
Kent.
Folkestone, around that area, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've got to film that. That's content,
mate.
Right there.
As Ronnie Coleman would say, that's like work. Do you know who that is? Do you know who Ronnie Coleman is?
He's one of the 2 Ronnies, isn't he?
No, you.
Oh, that's Ronnie Corbett. Sorry.
Yeah. He's the
he's the little one with glasses.
No, he's probably the best bodybuilder of all time.
Oh yeah, I don't know my bodybuilders.
See, that was my idol when I was a fat little monster. That's what I wanted to be like. Hulk, basically, walking around. Right, we are digressing. Come on, let's get to.
But you were just bulk. You were just bulk. You was just bulk.
Yeah, bulk. Yeah.
Incredible bulk.
Yeah.
Right, shall we go straight into our first match of debate?
Or do you want to talk about the kids first?
Yeah, we can talk about kids. We was digressing onto the kids, but we went onto old school playground memories of you eating ice cream up against the wall.
Yeah.
In a synopsis.
Oh, now, you spoke about Connie doing. Sorry, you spoke about Connie going to school, didn't you?
You're digressing, mate.
Yeah, sorry. Right, yeah, right. Focus. It's been a long day. It's been a hell of a long day.
Focus.
Right.
Focus.
Bo. Right, Bo. Obviously, I know we spoke. It's been going on for a couple of weeks. Well, 2 weeks now. Bo's started his new nursery, anyway, I keep saying about him. We was worried about who he's playing with, if he's having fun. He can't remember any kids' names. Or he doesn't ask any kids' name. He just plays with me. I think it's a bit like me. He just goes, "Hello, mate. Yeah, cool, mate. Yeah." Instead of actually asking people's name. I know that I do this podcast with Rob and mate, but yeah, he's actually found a mate, and he knows his name, and it's now our job to set up a play date. But he's actually looking forward to going in nursery and saying, "I can't wait till I see this little boy." So it's put us a little bit more at ease. Huh?
It's a strange name.
Yeah, I know. I think they were a bit confused when they named him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's made us feel a little bit more happy in the sense of that he's actually got someone now that he's sort of linked with, and obviously the missus has spoken to his mum, and it seems like Bo's almost like his first mate. He's been going a little bit longer than Bo, so he's been going since January. Obviously, Bo's been only 2 weeks, and his mum said that Bo's the first boy that he sort of clicked with and mentioned his name at home. So it's quite nice, really. So fingers crossed that's a friendship that will last and go on. So
that's
see
good,
what
mate.
happens. So it's something that I've been stressing about, really, because obviously, we know it's a fantastic nursery, but it's only a fantastic nursery if he enjoys going there. So hopefully now he's got that will then click, and then he can push on now. So fingers crossed. But it's good news. It's really good news. So
that is good. It is good.
Yeah.
It's good when they get their little mates in it, like outside of other people, isn't it? Like obviously, like our kids are friends because of our wives, really, as well. But when they go to nursery and then they have their little play dates and stuff like that, it's quite good. I mean, Connie's had a couple of play dates with people from nursery, and it's been quite good. It's been quite good.
Yeah, I think it means a lot because it gives them something to talk about as well. Like Bo wants to talk about what he's done with him, and then obviously we're asking more questions, and it's just nice for us to have a conversation as well, isn't it? So it's good, and it's almost like he feels like he's made a good connection or a good choice or whatever, and you know what I mean. So because before we're getting like limited conversation. Oh, what'd you do today? I don't know. But I think
nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
When now it's like, what did you do with this? Like, what did you play or whatever? And it's like, oh, me and. Do you know what I mean? So, fingers crossed it'll be a good thing. Yeah.
That's good.
What's the first? Was it football debate day thing?
Yes. So the first debate, then we're going to talk football, is football. So the first footballing match of debate is very topical, especially in terms of West Ham, and that is
Relegation.
NUYES, and that is Nuno Espirito Santo a good appointment for West Ham? So Cal, being an outsider, what is your thoughts on the Graham Potter sacking and then replacing him immediately with Nuno Espirito Santo?
I mean, as an outsider, and you ain't gonna like my opinions, but I think Potter.
No, this is match of debate. It's absolutely no repercussions.
I mean, Potter hasn't done a great job, in the sense of results, and I know you would probably say that he had his season or his attempt of buying what he wanted, but I actually don't think he did. So actually, I don't think Potter had a complete fair run of it, because I still don't think he managed to get in who he wanted to get in and get out who he didn't want, because I think he inherited a team and was basically told to hold on and do the best that you could possibly do. I mean, I know he brought a few players in, but I don't think he brought enough players in to actually put his playing style across, and then obviously implement that and then do that weekly personally. However, results pay the bills, and results get you where you are, and that's obviously why he's got the tin tack. Obviously with Nuno coming in, again he's almost in the same position as Potts, isn't he? And it's can he get more out of the players than Potters did? Because obviously he's inherited the team, he can't buy anyone, obviously because of the window being shut. But I think just from that first game that he's taken over against Everton, I think you seem to have a little bit more about you. And I know he only had 2 sessions, and obviously new manager, all that bounce back and wanting to impress. But I think being an ex-goalkeeper, you're going to be better organised, because ultimately that's what the first or one of the first calls for a goalkeeper is to organise your back four. That's what you're doing. You're constantly talking about your back four, and then potentially the midfield in the sense of how you shape up defensively anyway. But also when you're attacking, you'll be saying things like turn out, don't force, not forcing it and recycling the ball. And I think you'll see that a lot more from West Ham. I think you saw that actually against Everton on the weekend. I think he is going to be the man that you thought Pox was going to be, in my opinion. That's what I think so far.
Okay.
I mean, there's more that I want to say, but I want to hear what you say before I open my mouth.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm trying to keep my sting without just saying everything.
No, that's fine. Obviously, as you're fully aware, when Potter was first announced, I was quite a bit enthusiastic with it.
You was buzzing
until the point we had Sean Whetstone on the show, and he's basically an inside source and not an informer, but he's got good links with the club. And I said, like, yeah, I'm really excited. I could see him being a legacy style manager if we back him. And he came in and said he won't be here in 18 months' time. And as soon as he said that, and then announced that the fact that he had a break clause in his contract, made me doubt the entire appointment altogether. It was like, well, why have we hired him then if we're not going to back him? So it almost felt like it was set up to fail within the first day. In terms of getting his players in, it's been reported this week by ex-West Ham employee that he only really signed 2 players in that 8 months in charge. That was Evan Ferguson on loan, and the other was Madsen, the goalkeeper. And he only purposely picked Madsen because he waited until he appointed his goalkeeping coaches, so that he fully trusts those goalkeeping coaches to get the best out of Madsen. Manic Youth, Mateus Fernandez, 2 players that we brought in the summer that have been really good assets, I believe. They were not on his agenda. They were basically on West Ham's shortlist from 18 months ago, from when Lopetegui was in charge. So it does make you question whether Potter had really any input on the players that he was bringing in at all, other than the goalkeeper. He wanted to keep a Gerd. He kept a Gerd. He played against Sunderland, and it was clear the player just heart was. And yeah, so basically, I think Potter was basically set up to fail. I think they got him in on the cheap because he was still being paid extortionate amount of wages by Chelsea. So I think he was on. I think let's say he got given a payoff of something like £24 million from Chelsea, but that was paid over like a monthly instalment. So he can still jump into another job and still be paid by Chelsea. So it works out that what he was getting paid at West Ham was very minimal, because he was getting it. Let's put it this way: Chelsea paid 90% of his wages whilst he was at West Ham, and West Ham basically made the additional 10%. So even though Potter has been sacked, I think it didn't really break the bank, because he was still getting paid significant amount of money from Chelsea. And I think he's still, even now, I think he's still going to get paid for at least another 3 years from Chelsea. So he can relax. He doesn't really have to work. He's set for life, really, for failing in the job. So with Potter, I think it was probably a lack of motivation, desire, passion, a bit mute, a bit grey, a bit vanilla, and not really what West Ham fans could be inspired to have as the person that's going to be leading this team. So yeah, I think Potter was kind of set up to fail, a fall guy. But since Nottingham Forest sacked Nuno Espirito Santo, he became available, and they appointed Ange Postecoglou. They haven't won a game since. In 5 games? 4, 5, 6 games?
Now, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's in Europe and in Carabao Cup and Premier
Carabao
League.
Cup, yeah.
So it does make you question how much of an impact Nuno had on that Nottingham Forest team, and he picked up their first win of the season against Burnley, I believe, or Brentford. I can't believe it was opening day of the season. They beat him 3-0, and it's like since then they've just been free falling, and they're in a relegation battle as much as we are. And as Rob rightly highlighted, that Ange Postecoglou is a car crash appointment, and I think Rob will be proven right on that. By the sounds of it. So Nuno, the bit that annoys me with it is the fact that it is a Sullivan appointment. It is a board appointment, and it's an appointment where he didn't want to put his hands in his pockets. We've got an ownership there in Daniel Kretinsky. I spoke about this on the Grove podcast this afternoon after talking with Tabs, and basically said Daniel Kretinsky has got the money there to put his own money into the club, but it's a standoff really, because it's like, well, I'll put my money in if you put your money in. And Sullivan's like, I'm not putting my money in. So Kretinsky's there with sitting on a wad of cash in his vault like Scrooge McDuck, and he can't spend it because nobody else is equally committed to spend the same amount of money. So we've got that barrier. So that's why we've got Nuno. He's probably the best free agent manager that we could possibly get. And that's the bit that worries me. It's that it's another free agent appointment. We might strike lucky. We might strike lucky with it. We might not. But I would feel more comfortable if we got a manager that's in work, paid his compensation, and then built a team with him instead of trying to do it on the cheap. It's just the process of it. If that, for instance, I would probably feel a bit differently if we sacked Potter. Nuno was in a job at Nottingham Forest. If he was the real person that the club wanted, they would have paid up the compensation fee and got him in. Then I'd probably feel a bit like, okay, he's definitely the man they wanted because they've got him out of the job to get him into this job. Bit like what Arsenal did with Arteta. Like they bought Arteta off Man City because he was the right person. They didn't say he's in work, we can't touch him, we'll go get someone else that's a free agent. They went, no, he's the right man. That's the person we're going to get. And I do believe that there is a list of people that they do want at the club as manager, but they don't want to pay for him. So it almost feels like it's a that'll do appointment. It might do the job. I'm not saying he'll do a bad job, but it just feels like it's just around about the as is sort of appointment for me. That's my feels.
I don't understand why you get so hung up on about free agents and not having. I mean, like, not everyone could be job hunted. Do you know what I mean? Or
in Sullivan's mind, if Nuno Espirito Santo wasn't a free agent, who would he have got? Like, if he was the man that he wanted to lead this club, like if you've got a vision, if you've got a plan to build a team and build it with the right manager, you identified that person that you want. Like Brighton, for instance. Brighton, when they sacked or let Potter go to Chelsea, they were like, I want Roberto De Zerbi from Sassuolo in Italy, and they got him. So De Zerbi left. He went to, he left on his own own accord, and then he ended up at Marseille. And then Brighton went out and got the St. Pauli manager, Husler. And it was like, yeah, we got him, paid his compensation, we got him in. They had a plan, they had a structure on who they were going to get. If Nuno Espirito Santo was still in a job, we'd be talking about Slaven Bilic being West Ham manager right now.
Yeah, you probably would, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my point behind it. I say I'm very thankful we've got Nuno because of the situation, but it just feels like it doesn't feel like the right appointment because it's not part of the strategy, and there is no strategy.
I mean,
Go on,
I don't know why you get so hung up on that. Like I say, if Pep was a free agent, would you not want to go for him because he's a free agent?
He won't come to us if he was.
No, but I'm just saying, just because someone's out of work, like you say, you know, Nuno was out of work, but he was only out of work because he fell out with with the chairman.
Yeah.
And look at what he did.
He didn't do it. It wasn't because he was a bad manager. Yeah.
No, I mean the only reason he found himself out of work is because obviously he's clashed heads with the gaffer. But you know, and you know, if you look at his record, he's done well everywhere he's been, other than Tottenham. But then no one does well at Tottenham. Other than obviously,
there was an interesting. Sorry, mate. Just while you mentioned Tottenham, there was an interesting stat that popped up during his time, his 3 months at Spurs. So he managed 10 Premier League games at Spurs.
yeah.
And he won 7 of them, and he got sacked.
Well, you know,
that's like, and I was thinking, oh, I don't like. Part of me, you know, like I don't want that ex-Spurs
I forgot all
man
about
managing
that.
my
Actually,
club.
you ate all that, didn't you?
Yeah,
That's
and
something
I
else to wind you lot up against. Oh, you got an ex-Tottenham manager.
Yeah. So again,
you.
that grated on me a little bit. But then when you look at the stats, it's like actually he was probably unfairly treated there as well, because they only got Nuno Espirito Santo in after he left Wolves, and they failed to negotiate a contract with Antonio Conte. They got Nuno Espirito Santo in, and then Conte was like, yeah, I fancy this job now. I finished my holidays. I fancy this job. And they're like, right, okay, what do you want? Well, and they gave him what he wanted and went, well, we'll get rid of Nuno Espirito Santo, who didn't do a bad job. I think he won his first 3 games of one manager of the month whilst at Spurs. And then he got sacked. So it was a case of they wanted to uplift a new manager that they already appointed in getting someone of higher quality in Antonio Conte. Obviously, we know how that ended, because he's quite a charismatic person, and he's quite he basically talks his way into getting the sack to get a payoff, didn't he? But it does make you wonder whether Spurs probably bolted a bit too quickly with Nuno and rather let him build a project, and it might be of benefit to West Ham now that he's in the situation that he's in.
Well, I think actually it will be a benefit if, I think personally, he needs to get results early, even as the new gaffer. And I hope, like I say, hopefully that doesn't happen on Saturday. But I think you mentioned Wolves and Nottingham Forest. To be fair, I know they've obviously got promoted and that he's taken over from that sort of upward shift. But I think West Ham is probably the perfect club for someone like him, because it's almost like a Wolves situation where he can now come in and actually build something. And again, like we always mention with West Ham, if he's given the chance and given the time to do it, and also if he gets the backing from the fans. Listen, I think West Ham fans are fantastic, but I also think that you're sometimes your worst enemy, because you have 1 or 2 bad results and that's it. The world's ending. It's the worst thing that's ever happened. You're not going to win the World Cup in 60 years' time, and it's all falling to pieces.
Well, when you've done it once, you don't do it again, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think he is actually good for West Ham because of the style of football I think he will bring in. And I know West Ham fans talk about this style. I don't know why, because I've never seen it, but they talk about this style of football that West Ham have, and that West Ham do, or in the past have looked at playing football and wanting to play football, but also having that sort of rugged, hard man, sort of win your tackles, fight for everything and chase everything down. That's sort of what I would say, that London mentality for a football team. And I know that a lot of West Ham fans that I speak to, and obviously family members that I speak to are West Ham fans, they talk about that being missing so much, where you had that flair of Di Canio and that fight of what's his name? Oh, what's his bloody name?
Noble.
No, I was thinking of someone better. Even who's the old boy with it? Who has to step? Is it Dix?
Dix, yeah.
Yeah, like someone like him. Yeah. I was going to say Declan Rice, but I mean he's
Mavericks.
Huh?
Like Mavericks, you mean?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you've always had that nice, like sort of balance, haven't you? At West Ham, especially in the 90s, and maybe early 2000s, where I think you sort of missed that. And I think he will bring that back in because, obviously being, he's from Portugal, isn't he?
Nuno, yeah.
Yeah. I think he will bring that sort of football flair. He likes to play football. He's going to want you to be a possession-based team. I don't know if you're going to be that at the moment because of what you've got. But I think long-term, if he's given the chance, I think that's what he's going to try and bring in. Like what he did at Wolves, to be honest with you. And I think, Somerville, I thought looked really good. If you can get him fit, keep him fit, and get him match fit, I think he will be the sort of player that he's going to want to bring in and push. Because I think he looked really dangerous, especially with Fort Crew up front. I think them two, if they can get them going, you'll score goals. And I know when I was watching the game, I was thinking, bloody hell, I think Summerfield could have a resurgence here, because I think a lot of West Ham fans were like, oh yeah, he's great, but he hasn't done it. And I know he's had injuries, and I think a lot of West Ham fans was talking about, oh, he's just going to be another one who's come here, got his money, and unfortunately he hasn't actually produced anything. But I think if the Everton game's got anything to go by, I think he's going to be a big part of Nuno's, what's his name?
Nuno.
Wait, my dyslexia, sorry. Nuno.
That's right.
Nuno's plans, along with that Juve, the right back. Is it right back or left back?
Left back.
Left back. I think he looks fantastic. I'm really sorry. How old is he? 22?
21 or 20, I think.
I'm really quite impressed with him. He's the engine he's got and the speed that he's got is dangerous. And I think if he can keep doing what he's doing, I think he's someone that you might struggle to keep hold of, because I think even defensively he looks quite tidy from what I see. He's got the long throw as well, and which is, as we've seen this season, been vital for all teams. I think that old get the ball in the box and fight for it, sort of that style of football's almost going back. And he could do that for obviously West Ham, with Fort Crew being up top, who I think likes a bit of a battle and likes to try and win his header. It's just a shame you couldn't keep hold of Ferguson for a little bit longer, because I think
Ferguson would have been perfect for Nuno.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he had him, I think he would have been buzzing.
But whilst you mentioned youth, I think it's all, now you mentioned him, I think it's always worth playing this video.
The roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let them things that burn. Let them things that burn. Me, I can party hard.
Yeah, so the youth is on fire. That's because you can't hear it.
No, I can't hear. I was just about to go. What was going on? Apart from them turning around with the flag, what was going on?
The youth is on fire. That's gonna catch on. We need to make it happen.
Ed, I'm not being funny. You talk about a maverick. I think he is. I think he's that sort of bloke for you. I think because he loves to tackle. He works his absolute socks off, and West Ham fans will massively buy into that. So I think he's going to be a big part of Nuno's plans. And that's
talking of other West Ham fans. Let's bring another one in, and he's returning to the show. Horsey, how are we doing, mate? You right? Looks like you're in bed. What's going on?
I'm settled for tonight, mate. I'm in my gym jams.
Gym jams. You looks like you just come out from the sauna, mate. What's going on?
No, does it look warm in here? Am I sweating? I've been doing some packing. We're off to Centre Parks tomorrow, so I've been doing a bit of packing tonight.
Oh, I see. Jealous. I see.
Nice.
What Centre Parks going to?
Yeah, you're right, mate. I love Centre Parks. How long are you going for?
We come back Sunday night, so go Friday sort of lunchtime, back Sunday night.
Very nice.
Oh, wow, that's decent.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I love Centre Parks. Which one are you going to?
Woburn.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, lovely.
Our favourite one, to be fair.
Yes, yeah, very nice. Coming in, what do you think about West Ham?
We talked about in general. We talked about maybe the Everton game.
Let's talk about Nuno.
Let's talk about. I personally think you should talk about. It's a new era, isn't it? So let's talk about Everton and what you think going forward.
Well, I thought probably the first half it looked the same, typical, but we're not going to change much in 45 minutes. And then the second half, the fight, the graft was there. We've seen better teams than we probably got now that lack the work rate, but I don't think that's something we've got to worry about, the work rate and the graft with Juve and people like that at the moment. There's a lot of energy. And I thought we played ourselves back in a bit of confidence, because I think the confidence is what's been draining since Lopetegui. And I hope the Northern Forest game was going to sort of drive it back a little bit, but it didn't. It's different at home. I think it's almost easier for them guys at the moment away from home, away from the poison sort of atmosphere around the club. And yeah, they brought back into the second half, and I thought we deserved the draw. There was probably the last 15 minutes we pushed on, looked like we could get the winner, and then injury time we kind of held on a little bit more. But yeah, they got to build confidence. So hopefully Nuno's, well, he's obviously pretty ruthless, because he's, JWP was straight out, up for sale now. So yeah, he didn't travel. So obviously he didn't like him at Forest anyway, did he, Jim? So
no,
kind of
he played in 2 games. I think the sending off against Chelsea kind of hit the nail on the head from him. I think he played him once and was like, I'm not too sure. He got completely caught out against Chelsea and then got hooked and sent off, and then that was it. He didn't play for Nottingham Forest again, really.
Yeah.
But also, John Clare Todibo has been bombed out as well. There's been a lot of stuff that's come out today that he's not only he physically punched Julian Lopetegui, has been confirmed. He got dropped. He's been persistently late for team meetings, training, arrivals on coaches for away day trips. He's been deemed a bad egg, and Nuno has had a chat with him and basically said, due to your previous actions at this club, either you change your ways or you're not playing for this club. So he's made 2 very important decisions there. One, he's bombed out about £65 million worth of talent in this squad. But he was only there for 2 days. So, and to get a performance like that after making those signs, it's obviously quite encouraging in that sense, isn't it?
Yeah, changes have got to be made, and we've got no time for bad eggs. Kudus, potentially another bad egg that went. Aguerd was always sort of in and then out and back in again. So,
I can't knock Aguerd's professionalism, actually, because he did want to go, but I think he gave Potter the benefit of that because he never worked with him. So he stayed with him. He made him play in the back 3. It seemed to be okay at pre-season. Played against Sunderland, and he got completely caught out. And he was like, I need to go. I need to go now. And I think he was like, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I need to go. It's not working. And then we ended up sending him to Marseille. So, yeah. That's
I think he got man of the match his first Marseille game. He scored. And
oh, did he?
Yeah.
Cal, that's the West Ham way for you, mate. We
Thumbs it up.
I thought it was a Man United way, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Isn't that what all their players do?
Very bang on that. Very bang on. So, Mark, what's your general feeling then on Nuno? How do you think? Do you think it's a good appointment? Do you think it's an okay appointment? Do you think West Ham have gone around the houses and appointed the best free agent rather than going out paying for someone? What do you think?
I think when it's mid-season, relatively early doors still, we're not going to go out and pay for someone. I'll let him have it this time, and I think it's okay. I think they need someone to come in and really stabilise, and it goes one or 2 ways. Either he stabilises the club a little bit, and they'll look to give him a longer deal. I know he's got a 3-year deal anyway, but everyone gets a long deal now. Or he's in for the interim. He's in to sort out a few things. We'll look to see and assess where we do at the end of the season. I think number one is that they can't afford to go down. So you can't afford to get to Christmas. If you're down there at Christmas time, you're probably going to be down there at the end of the season. So they had to sort something out sooner rather than later. I was surprised that it went before the Everton game. Obviously, Nuno must have said, I want to come in straight away. The club had already said the Everton and the Arsenal games were write-offs.
Yeah.
So they gave him leeway, and he said, no, I still want to come in and I want to do something. Now I'm thinking easy 3 points at Arsenal at the weekend, right?
I hope so.
He's saying it in our favour, Cal. Not yours.
No, I've got that. Cheers, Dad. Thanks for explaining that, mate.
That's all right. That's what we're for. I'm here to be the awkward one.
Do you have anything? Are you not worried about if he's going to fall out with the board, because he's got a history of falling out with the board, obviously at Nottingham Forest and at Tottenham. Do you think
Wolves
they'll be able to keep him happy?
Yeah, I think every manager's going to have the same struggle with our board anyway. If we brought in a top class world manager, he's still going to face the same issues that Nuno's going to face. So I don't think we've got to worry about things like that until this board's gone.
Do you think he'd be given money in January?
It would depend.
Just holding out as they sell.
It would depend what we do. Yeah, it depends. You know, if we could get to January and someone makes a silly offer for Bowen, they'll accept it. You know, it could be anything. You know, things change quickly in football, as you know, and a month or two later, we could be looking like we stabilised the season already, and they'll be thinking, okay, but maybe we're pushing for an FA Cup. Maybe we need to strengthen. But there's money in the pot, you know, Ginge. But they're not going to give him crazy money. We could win every game up to January now. They're not going to give him crazy money.
No.
But yeah, I think it'd be more getting the squad, making sure we got the depth to do the Premier League stuff, and then maybe we get lucky and get a good FA Cup draw or something. Because I can't see us pushing for top 7, top 8, no matter what we do.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, like when he was at Nottingham Forest, he did get into the FA Cup semi-final as well, didn't he? So
yeah, I don't know who they played. You know, the FA Cup's the FA Cup.
Man City, didn't they?
Yeah, you've got to have a bit of a luck in the draw, because if you draw 3 good teams in the first 4 rounds, the likelihood is you're not going to get through. But if you get a little bit of confidence and you get through a couple of rounds, anything's possible.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
See,
a level-headed
like
hammer,
Nuno.
Cal, for you.
Huh?
A level-headed hammer for you, Cal. There you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, you've got to be excited. Anytime a new manager comes in, it's exciting. Unless you're getting like, a Potter, you should be excited. Let's be honest. So I just hope the excitement doesn't spill into Saturday, and then you could be excited afterwards. So, it would be a West Ham thing to nick a draw or nick a win, against us. It's just a typical thing, isn't it?
The funny thing is, Cal, we've had 3 new managers. This is our 3rd manager, and we haven't had a new manager bounce yet. we haven't had a manager come in and go, right, they've won 3 games on the spin, or like basically on the hype train. We've not had that.
Yeah.
Nuno, you don't know, do you? It could be 3rd time lucky, and we could get a win and get your place, have the international break, and then we go on this fantastic run playing the mid-table teams like Brentford, Leeds, Bournemouth, and pick up results there. You never know. But I'm not hopeful Saturday, but we'll go on to the predictions and that later. But a quick shout out to Nuno Espirito Santo, because it's also a milestone appointment, because it was announced today by the club that he is the first black manager to manage West Ham ever. So it's definitely a defining moment in the club's history. To me personally, I thought it was the colour doesn't really come into it. I never really saw him as being black. I saw him as Portuguese, but he's actually born from the African island São Príncipe. I might have completely hashed that, but he's actually of African descent, but he's Portuguese, and he's the first black manager of West Ham's history. So there you go. Cool. So it's a nice little way to win that debate. So. So, do you know what else happened with Nuno Espirito Santo this week, Kel?
I heard that he is quite impressive with some dance moves, I've heard.
Yeah. We posted a video on TikTok and it's reached 115,000 views. If you haven't seen it, here it is.
In the tunnel, he's walking down. There's a JGT right now. When you get J-Hud, you gotta show love. Started a J-Hud show. In the tunnel, he's walking down. There's an AGT right now. Started a J-Hud, you gotta show love. Wiggle it!
So, how can something so stupid generate so much content? I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's mad. We can sit here for hours talking about statistical analysis, talking about financial politics of football clubs and Premier League, and we do a stupid video about Nuno, and it's hit almost 6 figures in viewers. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I can't
But let's
believe
go-
you've got. I mean, how much do you have to pay him to do that?
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. He'd do anything, wouldn't he? Maybe that was part of his contract, being West Ham manager, that
Yes,
that
it's
Sullivan's
signed-
there with
well,
puppet
he's signed
strings.
on.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's get on to the Premier League this week. So it's the Dojpod derby with Arsenal v West Ham. We're all congregating round to your house, aren't we, Cal, to listen to the game, and because it's not on TV, remember.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a Woody box. But yeah, so what's your...
Which I
What-
don't. Someone had me to
Which
bring
you
it. Can I
don't.
just clarify?
Nobody's got one.
In
Nobody's
case
got
they're
one, I'm
watching,
just saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
In case they're watching us.
I could show you my Skybox, everyone, just so everyone knows.
That's it.
Yeah.
No fire sticks in this household. But yeah, but basically, what do West Ham have to worry about with this Arsenal team,
Goals.
other than the obvious?
Goals, mate. I mean, I think every club has to worry about is a defence that they're hopefully not going to break down. I mean, our defence, I would say our strongest position, our strongest thing is our defence. And to be fair, I think it's been that for the last, even though we haven't won nothing, but the last 2 years, 3 years, that's been our strongest. I think, you know, that breaking that down and getting a goal, I think any club's going to struggle. And I think West Ham's going to struggle on Saturday. I think depending on if Odegaard or, to be fair, if Eze plays, I think we will produce opportunities. I think that's a given. I think, you know, they've got the capability of unlocking any team, and I think unfortunately it's how many can we score on the weekend. And I would say that against any team at the moment, depending on how we set ourselves up. I mean, even against Liverpool, and I know we've had this debate.
No, sorry, just saying hello to Gatesy, West Ham
Oh,
massive.
okay.
Good YouTube channel. Go watch him. He does a fantastic Zippy impression from Rainbow. he hates it. He hates saying it, but he's bang on. Yeah, go on, mate.
Yeah, I think. What was I bloody saying?
Great
Goals.
Yeah. But then I think it depends on how we set up. I mean, I know that we're going to be more attacking against you, and I'm sure that you know, our Odegaard and Eze and even, you know, Martinelli has probably earned his position as well. We'll probably all start with Saka, and I think we'd be more forward thinking than we were against Liverpool and Man City, unfortunately. And I think we could have still unlocked them if he chose to play that way. But you know, he tried something and it didn't quite work. Well, it did work. It's, you know, unfortunately Liverpool got their goal, and sometimes you just got to take your hat off and go fair play. But yeah, I think you're going to get bombarded, and it's if he's done enough shape work with West Ham in the last week for you to, you know, hold us out basically. So I think you're going to go 5 at the back, and I think you'll be camping personally.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to be looking for someone like Bowen to nick, you know, do us on a break, which unfortunately he has done the last 2 years. So, you know, that's my worry, is that you do us on a quick break, and Bowen goes and nicks a goal or something like that. But then you struggle with defensive pieces, and that's one of our strongest things as well. So we want as many free kicks as we can in corners as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on. On Monday night after the Everton goal, when we went 1-0 down, Sky Sports kindly reminded us that it is the earliest point ever that any team in the Premier League have conceded 8 goals from set pieces in the first 6 game weeks or something. And they said the highest ever amount is 16 in an entire season. So we've got a whole 32 games left to kind of make sure that record doesn't exceed 16.
Oh, we got a new record coming. We're going to be record holders for that one.
That's it.
Put it in the trophy room.
Set piece conceders of the season. You'll never sing that. But yeah, so when that highlight came out, and I was like, oh right, that's not welcome. And then who we got next? Set piece FC. So you can just expect Arsenal are going to get at least a couple in terms of the corners, unless Nuno has really worked hard and made sure that we've been defensively solid in that week that he's been there. So I am fearful of set pieces. I think if you can try and avoid giving corners away, I think we might be in with a better chance of trying to get something away from the Emirates at the weekend. But yeah, if you pile under pressure and we're blocking shots and the goalkeeper saving it, then we're going to be letting these set pieces come to you naturally. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard game. I think. I don't think it's going to be a smash and grab like we've done the past 2 seasons. Like I say, it's about time Arsenal beat West Ham at their own place at the minute. That hasn't happened for a while, but you seem to smash us at our place. So if I could swap the wins in the stadiums that are being played at, I'd rather beat Arsenal at the London Stadium than beat them at the Emirates.
I mean, I think unfortunately you are also playing us after I think the Newcastle game is such a massive win for us, and how we won. I almost feel that whoever we play next, and unfortunately it is you, I think there is such a buzz around that win and how we won it that will carry us through. And then again, it's just crap that we got the bloody international break to break it all up again.
Another one.
Yeah, I know. When we're on such a good, or potentially could be on such a good run. But yeah, I think
World Cup to qualify, guys.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in the World Cup, but yeah, I mean, I just think I do. I think it is a horrible time to play, especially after the Newcastle game. And I hope it is. I really hope that you get absolutely nothing out of it. But I still think you'll be all right. I think you're in a better position than you was. I mean, I know I backed you to go down under Potter right before even the ball was kicked, but I do feel that you've got better potential now.
It's too early in the season as well. Like if we pick up another 3 points in the next 2 games, we could end up 12th, and then we're only 3 points off 6th. So there's a lot of movement in that table at the minute. It's too early to really determine anyone's season. But Mark, what's your thoughts at the weekend?
Scary times. I mean, there's never a good time to play Arsenal, but yeah, they'll be bouncing after the Newcastle game. I mean, but then you flip it, and I think everyone at West Ham's going to know that's a free hit for us. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but if you build into the game, you never know if you have something to hang on to, or Arsenal start getting a bit desperate. But I feel like, yeah, it goes one or two ways. Either we hold on, get late into the game, get deep, with a bit of depth off the bench, maybe hang on to something, or you can see the set piece early doors. There goes all that confidence again. They know that the story's already written for them. And we're not a team that looks like coming back when we go, especially like once we're 2 down. I'd like to know the last time we come back from 2 goals down. There's got to be a couple of seasons now. So you go 2 down early, it's game over. And then it could be rugby scores.
Yeah.
I mean, I must agree. I do agree. I mean, it all depends on how long you can hold out, and then obviously whether or not it is a running right. But then how much did Newcastle take out of us? We obviously had Olympiacos last night. You've obviously had a whole week of training. You've had that respite in between. Arsenal have chopped and changed. Martinelli coming back in and doing well, and other people being dropped, got injuries. I mean, I like I say, I do think we're run right, but again, anything can happen in it. And as you say, West Ham are that team that shocked us the last few years and arguably stopped us winning the league, or at least started the rot of us not competing for the league. So I don't know. West Ham seems to just have this little bit of a curse on us. But like I say, hopefully this season we can break that. But yeah, I mean, can I just say something, because I've just seen it come up on the chat, and I actually love this debate. I don't know who West Ham massive. I don't know who West Ham massive is, but
go on.
Me and my brother say this all the time. We paid half price for Declan Rice. So whoever, I know this West Ham massive saying 105 mil.
Gatesy, yeah.
Can I just say he is worth double that easily? And your mention about Jude Bellingham, I agree.
We had that debate, didn't we? On last season's podcast, talking about England and how pivotal. I mean, for me personally, since I said I'd rather have Jude Bellingham over Declan Rice, because I think it was when Arsenal were playing Real Madrid, wasn't it? And we asked that question. It was Rice v Bellingham. I went Bellingham because I think he's a game changer, and a match winner. And you went Declan Rice because of what you said. And then on that very evening, Declan Rice scored 2 free kicks, which made me look like a right bunker. So I agree. Gatesy, thanks for asking this question, because it get reminded. I hear this every week, mate. So Declan Rice, they only paid half price.
Yeah, and also I still can't believe we got him. I think he's that good. I think he is that good.
You're lucky he was at a shit team. Otherwise, no one would have got him.
Sorry?
You're lucky he was at a shit team. Otherwise, no one would have got him. If we were half better, he would have stayed. If we'd have probably won the Europa League the year before the Conference League, we probably could have tied him down to a longer I mean, it's a lot of money still for someone that's got 0 trophies for you, but
no, I actually disagree. I don't think it's a lot of money. When you look at what players are going for, I don't think it's a lot of money at all, mate. I still don't think £200 million is a lot of money for him.
Get a net, Jim, just a big one.
Get the net.
I think he's, mate, absolutely magical.
Yeah, I'll take him over Jude Bellingham just for the consistency of a guy that's 100% basically every game, week in, week out. I'd have him over Jude Bellingham as well. And I think Jude Bellingham on his day could be better, but Declan Rice, that you put in a season, he'd always come out top.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean,
it's a good comment from Gatesy as well. I still love Deck. Can't help it. Academy graduate, 3-time Man of the Year, captain, trophy winner. Although I believe he's now worth 200 million plus, we did get good money for him at the time. And I can't disagree with that. Declan Rice is immortal, isn't he? When you think about it, he's one of 3 captains to only ever lift silverware at this club: Bobby Moore, Billy Bonds, Declan Rice. And he's written in folklore for West Ham for many, many years to go, and I think he probably done all he could possibly do in his last real chance, really, because he knew he was going to be going regardless whether they won that cup or not. But one game has made him, let's say, immortal. But there's been talk about when he finishes his time at Arsenal, or when he finishes his business, he will come back to West Ham at one point. I think we had Mark Phillips on previously, and I think even he alluded to the fact that when he's in his 30s, he wants to come back to West Ham. And I still 31. Think he'll be a very
I'll
much
take him at 31.
41. I'll take him at 40.
He'll be a manager. He'll come back as a manager one day. Put a bet on that.
Do you know who made a good point? I think it was Gary Neville or someone. It was a pundit. I can't remember who it was. And he said, Declan Rice is a player that a manager wouldn't lose sleep over. That's how valuable he is, because there's certain players you think, is he going to turn up today? Is he going to be right? Is he going to score? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? Is he going to not go out tomorrow? Is he going to eat right or whatever? Where Declan Rice, you sleep easy. He's going to sleep right. He's going to rest. He's going to eat. He's going to do his job. He's not going to. And that's, for me, that's why he's as good as he is, because literally you put him in and he does exactly what you want him to do, and you can't beat that.
That's why when he was at West Ham and we was all, when he was breaking into the team, he was in the team for about half a year, and there were people going, he's going to be a future England captain.
No, he will.
It sounded ridiculous. Yeah, he's captain England already, but at the time, people were like, he weren't that good. He ain't that. You've only had to see a small amount of him to go. The professionalism in the guy was already way above his quality.
Yeah,
and now he's got the quality to match.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest fear is probably the same as yours. Listen, you said about he got to a certain stage about whether or not you could keep him or not, and who is he going to and what. Listen, as an Arsenal fan and a fan, a team that is, hopefully challenging for the league and other cups, I still worry about how long we keep him. How long can we keep him sweet before someone like Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Man City, whoever it might be, comes in for him? Because I've got, I like to think us as a big team, but I still worry about can we keep him? And we're arguably a big team.
I think the only way Declan Rice, I can't see Declan Rice going to Real Madrid just because of their transfer policy. I think Real Madrid would be the type of team that would rather go with a Spanish equivalent and boost their profile to help the Spanish national team. I think because they tend to do that quite a lot. I mean, if they had an option between Rodri or Declan Rice, they'll go Rodri, wouldn't they? Let's face it. So so that I always think that Real Madrid will have better alternatives to suit their club. I can't, like I say, Germany. I just don't think they could ever afford him. Declan Rice would never go Saudi Arabia. It just wouldn't happen. I think the only real kind of threat would be Declan Rice goes to another Premier League club who have been taken over with billions and billions of pounds. That could make him play in the best league in the world and offering Champions League football. I think it's the only real thing. Would he go Liverpool? Probably, but I don't know. Like Chelsea maybe. Being the next Chelsea youth player himself, would he go there? But they look a bit hit and miss at the minute in terms of their infrastructure. Unless West Ham get taken over by a Saudi state. And then they go, okay, Arsenal, you want 200 million quid? We'll give you 200 million quid, and we'll still say we paid half price for him. That's all dependent on what happens with Man City's 116 charges and how and the IFR coming into play. So in terms of owners and that coming in, it's going to be very rare that happens. But I think you just need to enjoy him for as long as you possibly can, because he's going to be. When he does win that trophy, he's going to be immortalised around Arsenal for years and years to come, alongside Tony Adams. So,
I agree. What sort of reception do you think you get from the West Ham fans on the weekend?
Well, just seeing it there. I mean, Gatesy there. I'll always cap him. Don't care what people say. I've got a replica shirt of his Conference League final with his number and name on the back. But I just think now that first season, I think. The first season for me, I wanted him to lose everything. So the last thing I wanted was
he did.
Him leave us. Yeah, he did, and I think that kind of softened the blow for us fans. To be completely honest, like he didn't leave us and then win the Premier League straight away. That would have been gut wrenching. But I think now he's in his third or fourth season at Arsenal?
This is his third,
third season. I think you could probably see West Ham fans now probably wanting him to win something, because. Otherwise, the move and the ambition, the motivation would have been for nothing. And we'll know that he deserves that silverware because we know how good he is. But so I think that animosity is kind of faded now. We'll always respect him.
It was a small amount of animosity anyway. It was more little banter stick. I think tiny minority actually hated him.
Yeah. The last thing we wanted was another. The last thing we wanted was another Frank Lampard situation, wasn't it? I mean, I've had this debate with my old man, and it's almost like his generation that kind of victimised Frank Lampard for being a good player. It was only that his route into the football team was aided by Uncle Harry and his dad, Frank Lampard Senior. And in fact, actually, he was a very, very good footballer, and he proved everyone wrong by, going to Chelsea the way that he did go, and become the Premier League's record goal-scoring midfielder of all time. He's won every trophy going, and the last thing we want is that to happen again. Like, we're letting good academy talent go to bigger clubs, and then we end up hating them and singing songs about them and stuff in the terraces. Like, yeah, it's all well and good. One man couldn't carry Frank Lampard, but really, he's the last one laughing because he's won everything he could possibly win.
Yeah, I don't think the stick's ever got to. Well, I think it has got to Lampard at times, but it's
Yeah.
not just your dad's generation. It's my generation. Lampard ain't coming back. I don't like him. I've been to enough West Ham Chelsea games. I went to one in the cup, and he got a penalty against us away from home.
I was there.
Yeah, he was there as well. When fans were trying to rush on, and he stood there with the ball in his hand.
I was in the home end.
Oh right, yeah. So I was literally facing him, and he's literally looking at me in the eyes, kissing his Chelsea, and then he missed a penalty, which we still lost, but it made it worth the day or two.
Yeah, Kesman, wasn't it? Kesman scored. Actually, I think it was his only goal for Chelsea or something. But I was in the home end because I got tickets off Waitsy.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
was he Chelsea? Was he?
No, he was Spurs, but because he was part of the FA, like he used to do all the old England vets and stuff like that. He used to get tickets for Premier League games and stuff. And me and my old man went up to Stamford Bridge, sat in the home end, just dead quiet, and it was like, but seeing the West Ham fans go absolutely mental and Jimmy Walker saving that penalty, like, it was good to see it from afar rather than be in it, because it was like, yeah, we was championship level then, the league below, and it was like, yeah, we fully deserve to be in that category in terms of, and that was the first year that Chelsea had their billions, wasn't it? Their oil money. Yeah, I always remember that.
I think we hit the bar. We hit the bar in like the last minute. And we could have took it to extra time. And
Zamora. Was it Zamora? Might have been Zamora. No, I don't think it was there then. I might be. I don't know. Yeah, mental. Okay, so Mark, tell Callum what players Arsenal should be looking out for West Ham in terms of where the threats are going to be from West Ham.
Well, there's a certain guy, JB, who is basically always on form. He's our main threat for obvious reasons. I say Juve. Juve has got that energy that he showed setting up the Bowen goal as well. I think, defence is us breaking. I mean, the Everton game, we had a lot of possession, which because of David Moyes. So we're not going to get that at Arsenal. So it's definitely going to be much more counter. So it's going to be the wing backs, what we can do holding the ball up in the middle with Fernandez probably. Paquette has got to be on form, but on his day, he's world class on his day. And then the clinical of Bowen, because if you give him half a chance and he's around the edge of that box and you let him put it on his left, there's a good chance he's going to whack that in the top corner.
Mm.
But how many times are going to get chances for that? I don't know.
Yeah. He doesn't need many though, does he? To be fair with Bowen, like he'll
he's
probably
so
have like two a game. He probably has on average, and he ends up burying one of them. So he's got a good conversion rate in terms of his shots. I can't disagree with that. I think the link up between Diouf and Somerville was frightening on Monday, especially in that second half. I was like, oh, hang on a minute, we've got two pace demons here. The bit I worry about is the lack of defensive quality on that side as well, because Diouf's not the best defender. And especially if he's going to be coming up against Saka, who's probably equally pacey as him, I think he will suffer the weekend. That's my general opinion. I don't think we'll play five at the back. Yeah, go on.
I did mention the Somerville because I know he's had a few good games for us, but I think against the real big boys, I don't think he's quite got that physicality in him yet for the top level. So I think he's not going to be one of a threat for you guys, but he's got a lot of talent to come through Somerville, so he can only get better.
Yeah, that's true. And in terms of the comment about playing five at the back, we've got a manager that doesn't play five at the back. He'll play four at the back. And that will just open up a can of worms for us. So yeah, I can expect an Arsenal win. That's a dead cert. But what's your score predictions before we sign off for the evening?
Go on, Cal.
I'll go first. I reckon it's going to be 4-0
Bowen hat-trick.
I hope
4-0
not.
to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Mark?
I'm gonna go with my heart 1-0.
1-0. It's not bad reflection. I was again looking at Arsenal's 96th minute winner against Newcastle. I'm glad that happened. Like at the weekend, I was texting you boys. I was like, I'm glad that happened, because now it's like if they lost, we would be in for so much pressure, and it's like we're always a bounce back team. So if you need a result and you've come back off a loss, it's like, oh, we've got West Ham next. We're going to absolutely batter them. So I think you might ease off a little bit on us. I think you'll beat us 2-1, and I think both the goals will come from set pieces. I think it'll be 2-0 for the vast majority of the game, and then we'll play. We'll get a goal in the dying embers of it. Yeah, there is a comment there. He played 3 centre backs at Wolves, but I can't see it. I can't see it happening at West Ham personally. Not especially when 5 at the back has probably been our weakest formation. If he manages to get that working in a week, fair play to him. But I can't see it.
No, I think he'll do what he done at Everton. We just got to be prepared for a lot less of the ball.
Yeah, especially when we've dropped Tadibo as well, who was one of those starting centre backs in the back three, and we've sold Aguerd. We haven't got the centre back numbers to play that, unless he plays Wan-Bissaka right centre back, but he's not fit, so I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, okay, boys, we'll sign it off there. Thank you for coming on, Mark. Much appreciated.
Cheers,
Mark. Last minute. And
thanks for having us.
And thanks for dressing for the occasion, being very dad-like.
I've got the West Ham underneath. It's just...
Oh, there you go. All right. There you go. You've redeemed yourself there, mate. Yeah, that's it. Thank you to everyone that's been watching and commenting. Don't forget to like and subscribe to us on X, YouTube, and TikTok. TikTok is not serious, just have a little laugh on it. YouTube is the one where we're looking for the followers and likes. But yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week from 8:30 Thursday night. See you later.
Hola, and we cheer, and we spill a bit of beer. Raise a glass to the past and the mates who ain't here. From Highbury to Upton Park, it's now Ashburton and Stratford for a lark. It's the Old Dads Our Job podcast, the heart of the game.